Alright, we're going to go ahead and get to it. I'm going to get into the computer here and we'll show you how I set up KDE Neon. It's not really that hard. Occasionally it can get a bit buggy. It's like anything. You got to kind of know a little bit about what you're doing. But let's go ahead and we'll hop into that. Okay, here we are in our freshly booted system. You can see it looks a lot the same, only you don't have the little install icon. First thing I did was go ahead, come over here and connect to my internet, and then I pulled up a terminal with Control-Alt-T and installed Simple Screen Recorder so I could record this video. But now I'm going to kind of show you real quick how I do it. Of course, there are a bunch of updates that need to be done. We'll get to that in just a minute. First thing I do is come in here and right click on this, go to alternatives, because I don't like the menu layout they have, and I go with the dashboard and hit switch. That way I hit my super key and it gives me this style of menu, which I like a lot better. I think it looks a lot nicer. Of course, we'll go ahead and we'll adjust our panel. Panel options, configure panel, and just my height. I normally go about 44, and I will adjust the clock. You go ahead and configure clock. I do not want 24-hour time. I will uncheck that. I do want the date. Go ahead and hit apply. Okay, now we got our date and everything. Next thing I want to do is get into settings. So we're going to go hit system settings and we'll open that up and let's go through some settings. Of course, this is going to be running a little bit slower than normal because I am recording video. Anytime you're multitasking on a computer, you're going to run a little bit slower. Come over here, configure, and I want icon view. I just find it's easier to get around if it's icon view. Let's go ahead and we'll go to workspace theme. Get new theme. I like the modern theme. That seems to be the one that looks best for me. We'll type in the word modern. It'll go out onto the interwebs and pull in, there's modern. So let's install that. Let that get put in place here. It is installed. So now I go over, click on modern, apply. And it's going to configure it. Now we got a modern theme. So it looks a lot nicer to me. Desktop theme. They already have Oxygen, and I like the Oxygen theme, so I'll hit apply. Gives you a nice looking, kind of a clearish panel down here. Makes it look nice. Cursor theme, I don't really care. Cursor looks fine to me. We're going to go ahead and go to the breeze and apply. That'll be our splash screen. Go ahead and go back to all settings. Fonts, I like to bump them up a little bit. They normally are a little small for me out of the box. So we'll go in here, choose, let's go 12, okay, 12, okay, 12, or you can just go ahead and adjust all fonts, come up here, and we'll go ahead and hit 12 for size. Hit OK, and that'll move them all to 12. Makes it a little bit quicker. I'm not going to mess with Font Manager right now. We'll go ahead and we'll apply that. Don't show that again. And back to all settings. Icons. This is a good one. They give you Breeze and Breeze Dark. I actually kind of like Oxygen theme for icons. So we're going to get a new theme. And we're going to type in Oxygen. And let's see what we get under Oxygen. Okay, which one do we want? The remix is a good one. Let's see if this will install. Yeah, we'll go with the AMD 64, and let's let that install, see how long this is going to take. Hopefully not too long. If it does, I'll go ahead and cut the video and we'll come back after it's installed. But yeah, it's real easy to get around in KDE Neon now that they've got some of the settings adjusted. It's just basically you go in, either type in what you want or just look and see what they have available. So it actually is pretty easy. Okay, that looks like it did not install. So apparently they're having issues with that one. Let's see if there's any other Oxygen icon themes that we might be able to use. Scroll on down. Oxygen icon themes for LibreOffice. Like I said, there's a ton of them. Fixed Oxygen icon script. Oxygen crystal. Let's see. Oxygen Classic. That looks interesting. Let's see if that one will install. We'll go ahead, we'll click it. See if it's going to install. And it says installing. We will see how long this is going to take. Shouldn't take too long. It's only 294 megabits. I mean, it's not a huge file. So, I mean, it should install fairly quickly if it's going to install at all. Yeah, the anticipation is just killing us, isn't it? Waiting to see if this is going to install or not. If it doesn't, we'll just move over to Breeze Dark and keep going. Yeah, because we don't have all day here. Yeah, it still says installing. It doesn't look like it's going to install. Some of these themes are kept up to date. Some of them, they kind of let them kind of fall by the wayside a little bit. So really, you have to kind of trial and error, find out what'll work, what won't work. We'll go ahead. Let's close that out. We'll just go with Breeze Dark for now. Apply that. Go back to all settings. And behavior, this is an important one. I like a double click, so we're going to put double click. Desktop effects, if you want to, of course it does remind you to apply stuff. If you want to have like wobbly windows or any kind of fancy effects, you can go ahead and apply them here. I'm not going to really mess with that. Here's where you can do your screen edges. Of course, I don't want the window to maximize when I drag it to the top, so I'll uncheck that. Apply. Touch screen. This is a touch screen, but I'm not going to mess with anything. Screen locking. I really don't like my screen to lock when I'm on the computer, so we'll go ahead and uncheck those and apply. And appearance. We're going to get some new wallpaper because I honestly can't stand this wallpaper, and I want something KDE related. So we'll go ahead and type in KDE, and we want to get like some of the top rated stuff. So we'll let that download and see if the one I like comes up here. It normally should. So let's see. Try that again. Loading data. And it's going out onto the interwebs, pulling in all the different wallpapers that are KDE related. So let's see if we get the one we want. Yeah, it didn't show up. There's a whole bunch of different wallpapers. That's kind of a cool one. We'll put it in. Scroll on down. See what else we have. Yeah, they don't have the one that I really want. Let me go ahead and let's type in plasma. I think it was a plasma one if I remember right. Let's pull it in and look. see where we're at here. Should be pulling it in any second now. Yeah, it's not really pulling it in right now. It looks like it's busy. Could be because of the fonts or the icons we wanted to pull in earlier. They may be doing something in the background. We'll go ahead. Let's see if we can close this out. Not responding. Close. Yes, terminate applications. Let's pull her back open. And like I said, I got to do updates on this thing. There could be some patches they put in that I've not got put in yet. So we'll go ahead, configure, do it all over again, icons, and desktop behavior. Let's see, touch screen. Yeah, there it is, appearance. There's that one wallpaper we pulled in. We can put it up for time being. Get rid of this default one that I kind of think's hideous. See if that'll load in. Of course, you can have more than one desktop with Linux. I just generally run one because I really don't do a whole lot where I need an extra one. Go into your privacy settings and I click Do Not Remember. We'll go ahead and apply that. Clear recent history and set that up for 1 month. Go ahead and apply. Let's go back to settings. Window management, really not a whole lot there to do, except I do want to do one thing in there. Go ahead and we'll open that, double click. Advanced, I don't want it to placement to be smart, I want it to be centered. We'll apply that. Go back to all settings. Power management. Don't want to dim my screen. Don't want to go to energy savings. And when I hit my button, I want it to shut down. Very simple. Apply that. And I think that's all I need to do there. There should be a firewall in here. They don't have it connected or installed. That's something we can install later on. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to get out of this. And instead of going through Discovery down here for all these updates, I'm going to go ahead and Control-Alt-T and open a terminal. Because I find it's just easier for me to do terminal. I'm going to go ahead, File, go to Edit, and where's our preferences? View, Bookmark, Settings, here we are. We're going to configure this because I need it to be a little bit bigger. Go to Profile, we're going to go New Profile. Appearance, I want the green. We're going to edit that as well because I like it to be a little bit clear. Go to about 40. Apply. Font size. We're going to go to 14. Okay. Apply. Okay. And slide this over. New profile. That's going to be my default. Okay, let's go ahead and edit current profile. Appearance. I like bold too, I can see it a little better. There we go. It's a little bit bigger. Let me drag this over. So let's get our system updated right now. we're going to go ahead and sudo apt-get update, super secret password, and we're going to go out onto our repos and pull in all the updates for our system. Which you can see, it's basically going into the Ubuntu Bionic Beaver updates, which is 1804. That's what KDE Neon's built on, is Ubuntu 1804. But you do get the latest KDE.org releases. And we're going to pull in our packages. Okay, one of the repositories cannot be securely connected to, so they disabled it, but let's go ahead and sudo apt-get dist for distribution tac upgrade. We're going to go ahead and get our upgrades in, and this will take all the packages, but you can see there's a lot of packages here. We're going to go ahead and enter because it's yes by default, and we're going to upgrade our system. And when this is done, we'll be back and we'll do some installing of some software as well. Something else I wanted to kind of point out while we're getting our kernel update here. If you notice down in this area, see this little guy? This is what tells you you have updates. If this isn't here, your system's up to date. And if you'll watch as this is getting installed, once everything's in, this will disappear, so keep an eye down there. And you can see here we are back to our prompt. So let's clear this out. And see the icon down there, like I was saying, it's gone now. We are up to date. And so before we install anything else, let's just kind of take a quick look. I did put my Dolphin file manager down here and pinned it to my taskbar. So something I like to do is be able to delete things. I don't like putting stuff in trash if I can help it. So you go into Controls, Configure Dolphin, Services, and click Delete, Apply, OK. And I don't have anything public, so I just go ahead and right click, delete that. Don't ask me again. Yes, I want to delete it. And templates. I never have any templates, so we'll get rid of that folder. And we'll make these a little bit bigger. Go ahead and slide that up. That looks better. Get this adjusted here. I did find an icon set that's called Korla, K-O-R-L-A, that I think it looks kind of cool. I'm going to run with it for a little while. But we go ahead and let's open up this and go to All Applications. And you can see it's fairly sparse as far as applications go. For photo editing, they don't have what I like. I like Shotwell. Console's the terminal. Of course, this is shows your system resources. Ocular. Of course, I did install Simple Screen Recorder. They do have Spectacle to take screenshots. VLC Media Player. And that's about it. I mean, this is a fairly sparse install. They don't have a lot of stuff on this install. So we can go ahead and let's see if we can get our wallpaper changed up. It's been giving me some issues not wanting to change. I guess it heard me say that I thought it was hideous, so it didn't want to change. But I did download another couple wallpapers. There's the one I want. It's just not letting us change. Yeah, it'll probably work after a reboot. I'm not going to worry too much about it now. One thing I want to do, Control-Alt-T, open my terminal. I want to get my drop-down terminal installed. So we're going to sudo apt-get install, and that's Yakuake, I believe. A-K-E. YAKUAKE. Enter. Super secret password. Goes into the repos. And we'll get that installed, because I like that drop-down terminal. It's very handy. Okay, it's in. Go ahead and clear this. Close, and we'll go open that. You can just hit my super key. There it is. Click. And you still have single click whenever you're in the mode where you're going to your menu. Yes, we want F12 to do that. I want to run her at about 60% width, and I like about 70% height. That looks better. And so now we can go ahead and install some more stuff here. I'm going to need LibreOffice. I'm going to need to get Shotwell for my photo installed. I need KDE Live so I can edit videos. Bunch of stuff, a bunch of packages that if you're on Linux any length of time you get used to having. Like I said, very simple. Sudo apt get install. And let's say we want to go ahead and do Shotwell photo editor. Shotwell, enter. Super secret password, hit your enter. It goes into the repos, pulls it in. If it's a capital, then it's just by default, so just hit enter. That's what I love about Linux. I don't have to go on websites that I have no idea what they're pushing on me, and do an exe and wonder if it's got malware or spyware or any of that stuff. This is all in the repositories. It's all been vetted by Ubuntu or by KDE. So you know these packages are good. There's no issues with them. They're updated in the repos, so when you do your updates, everything gets squared away and up to date. And we're getting that in. It's processing triggers, setting things up, and there it is. I've installed Shotwell just that quick. I want the entire LibreOffice suite, so just hit LibreOffice. You could do LibreOffice Writer, LibreOffice Calc, depending on what you want. If you just type LibreOffice, it's going to pull the entire LibreOffice suite in. Yes, go ahead and hit enter. Easy peasy. I mean, it's so simple. People want to make it out like Linux is so hard to use. You don't have to use terminal. You can go into a package manager. When I'm done here, I'm going to install Synoptic. Because like I said, I don't really care for Discovery. It can be a bit buggy at times. I want to install Synoptic Package Manager. I can go into Synoptic and pick stuff and it'll do it. But it's so easy to do things from terminal. It's just if you know the name of the package, sudo apt get install. Very simple. Of course, other systems will use different. Pacman is what's used if you're running an Arch-based, or Yast if you're in OpenSUSE. I believe it's OpenSUSE. There's different managers for different distros. But if it's a Debian, Ubuntu, Mint-based distro, it's going to be apt, A-P-T, and makes it real simple to do stuff. So I'm going to continue installing stuff. We'll get this video edited out, and maybe I'll go ahead and do one to show you how I set up Firefox. So like I always say, either we stand up for our rights or we sit by and watch them go away. Y'all have an awesome day. We'll talk to you later. Tennessee Frank out.